Theoretical recap. Network Address Translation, NAT, is a mechanism that rewrites IP headers at the boundary between a private network and the public internet. When a packet leaves your LAN, the router replaces the source private IP, for example, 192.168.1.10, with its own public IP and records the mapping in a state table so return traffic can be forwarded back to the right host. This is called SNAT, source NAT, or masquerading. DNAT, destination NAT, works in reverse. Inbound packets destined for a public IP are redirected to a private host. Iptables is the classic Linux firewall and packet filtering tool that operates at the netfilter level inside the kernel. It organizes rules into tables, filter, NAT, mangle, and chains, pre-routing, post-routing, input, output, forward. The log target in Iptables does not drop packets. It simply writes a kernel log entry, visible via demisk or /var/log/log/kern.log, containing metadata, source IP, destination IP, port, interface, TTL, and more. A common mistake beginners make is inserting a log rule after a drop rule. The packet is already discarded, so the log entry is never written. Always place log rules before terminating rules. Another pitfall: forgetting that NAT rewrites happen at different chain stages, so the IP you see in forward may already be translated compared to what you see in pre-routing. Mini example: a packet from 192.168.1.5 to 4321 reaches the router. Pre-routing logs show the original source. After masquerade and post-routing, the source becomes 203.0.113.1:some_ephemeral_port. Reading both log lines together lets you reconstruct the full NAT session. Workshop brief. This workshop places you in the role of a junior network security analyst who must prove they can trace an end-to-end connection through a NAT gateway using nothing but Iptables log entries. The ability to correlate pre-NAT and post-NAT addresses is a fundamental skill in network forensics, firewall auditing, and incident response, all of which appear directly in penetration testing engagements when you need to understand the network topology of a target environment. You will set up a minimal lab using 2 Linux virtual machines, or network namespaces if you prefer a lightweight alternative, one acting as a client on a private subnet, and one acting as a NAT gateway/router with internet or DMZ access. You must configure Iptables on the gateway so that it logs packets at the relevant chain stages, before and after address translation, without breaking connectivity. Once logging is in place, you will generate controlled traffic from the client, for example, a curl request, a ping, or a simple TCP connection with Netcat, and then extract the corresponding log lines to reconstruct the full NAT session: original source, translated source, destination, protocol, and ports. After capturing at least 3 distinct connection types, ICMP, TCP, UDP, you will analyze the log output and answer a set of interpretive questions. Which chain logged the pre-NAT address? At which point does the translated address appear? How can you correlate the 2 log entries when many connections are active simultaneously? What information would be missing if you only logged in one chain? These questions are not provided as a checklist. You are expected to discover and document them yourself as part of the analytical work. You will then introduce a deliberate misconfiguration. Place a log rule after a drop rule and observe, or rather, fail to observe, the result. Document what happens, explain why, and fix it. This exercise reinforces the ordering sensitivity of Iptables rule evaluation, a concept that trips up even experienced engineers. Finally, compile your findings into a short written report, 300 to 500 words plus annotated log excerpts. The report must include a diagram or ASCII schema of your lab topology, the exact Iptables commands you used, and why you placed them where you did, annotated log excerpts showing the before/after NA-NATE correlation, an explanation of the misconfiguration experiment, and at least one reflection on how an attacker or a defender could exploit or benefit from this logging capability. Clarity and precision matter more than length. You have a maximum of 10 hours to complete this workshop and must submit your report and any supporting files, Iptables, rule dumps, raw log excerpts, before the deadline expires.